the stardom is going to feel, and it's going to make them feel good. But what do we see? We see them A-list stars, and they got a drinking problem. A-list stars, and they got a drug problem. A-list stars, and they kill themselves.
Yo, we got action. We got action. Brian Hooks. Brian Hooks, the actor, comedian. Pretty sure you may remember him from Three Strikes. You may remember him from Soul Plane. That was funny. I don't care what nobody say about Soul Plane. That's one of my favorite movies. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what type of bootleg or hood title or whatever y'all want to give it. Soul Plane, classic. But he was the guy that kept running around with some more, trying to have sex through the whole movie. You may remember him from Soul Plane. You may remember from Eve. I like the Eve too. Eve was an underrated show too, low key. Shout out to Eve. But anyway, we got a little action. I wanted to speak on this because I was watching this interview with Brian Hooks. It was on Comedy Hype. Y'all can go check it out. Comedy Hype, they got an interview running with him right now. He's saying some very insightful things. And I just wanted to, maybe brush over a few things that he was talking about as far as the industry and the fake love, so to speak, as he was talking about, which a lot of us endure in more ways than one, but you can already just imagine how the fake love could come accustomed on a large scale. But once you are an artist that didn't have a big movie or a hit movie, and I definitely could take his word for it because, let's just be real, his name is not really ringing like that on a large scale as it was when Three Strikes came out. And Three Strikes came out at a time, if you remember, it kind of like came out at a time that was, I think, now this is just my opinion, I'm just throwing it out there, you can agree with me or not, that's fair. But it definitely came in a time and a space where Chris Tucker was out the picture, right? When I say out the picture, it's kind of like, it's that between that after Friday, because remember how big Friday blew up? Not that Three Strikes is a straight up direct mirror of Friday or not, but the character that Brian Hooks just played, just a slim, silly, funny guy in the middle of the hood going through some things and Three Strikes. It can kind of put you in the frame. At least the first person you may think about is a person like how Chris Tucker. What was Chris Tucker's name in the first Friday? It escapes me, but y'all know. But remember, Friday came out like 95, and this movie Three Strikes came out in about 2000. And then you got to remember, Chris Tucker went on his way as far as like not being, I don't really know the whole ordeal, but remember he was like finding himself and didn't want to do a part two, and it felt like everybody was smoking weed because of part one Friday. But then you had a movie like Three Strikes came out and it hit. It was like it was a cult classic to a certain extent. I ain't gonna say it just straight up went through the ranks at the theater, but definitely on video and DVD and in the hoods, Three Strikes, which came out, I want to say the year 2000. So it was a hit, It was funny, and it was going through some things, and it made its moment. But as an artist like Brian Hooks, I can bring it full circle and say I definitely can respect his pen speaking on this, because he was talking about some things as how the industry, he seemed like a very just like a calm dude who's not like, he's not in the bitter space, but like he said, when he went out to try for the movie, he still was enrolled in school and stuff like that. Like, he wasn't like banking on the movies, although it hit. You can say that, but I definitely know he was in that moment when that shit hit. Of course, you was a damn movie star, so you're gonna have your advantages. But by him not being as super consistent as far as in taking up that whole Chris Tucker type lane, that's really where I want to get at when I was bringing Chris Tucker in this picture of this commentary. It really was a void. I remember, even in Friday's period, I mean, it was even hard to give Mike Epps a chance if you really want to be real about it. I mean, the real people remember that. It took for people to watch Friday After Next and really just watch it and understand that, okay, Chris Tucker is not in it. That's why it was such a big gap for part 2 to come out. But they made it work, and Mike Epps is a star too in his own right today. But I remember, I definitely remember when Friday After Next came out. The first thing people was talking about, it was like how's the new how's the new guy? Like, is he funny? And they like, he all right, and boom, boom, boom. But it took a minute to grow on to Mike Epps. I remember that vaguely. I mean, not vaguely, but I remember it clearly. So with a movie like Three Strikes and just the career of Brian Hooks, he had this moment of being able to be in that lane if he really wanted to milk it, or if Hollywood wanted to milk him to be in that lane. I'm not sure if in this whole interview he speaks on this, but it's definitely was there and could be a topic. So it just was cool to just watch it. Like I said, y'all go check it out. It's running on Comedy Hype. It's a video up. It's like Brian Hook admits Three Strikes came with fake love. That's what he says. And he was just talking about how people maybe call him up that didn't even know him, but people want to attach themselves to him just because he's a hot star at the moment. And that's what this industry can do. It's a lot of competition, and you have some people that want to build their own right, but then you got some people that want to just want to attach themselves to what's ever hot. That's what they want to do. When I say attach themselves to it, I mean like they want to be with those people. Like they want to be in those circles. They want to be at the parties. They want to be the ones invited. They want the friendships that's could be temporary. Or they the type of people that'll look 2 steps ahead. They'll look at you and who you hang with, but they'll want to get to you to start hanging with the person you hang with. You got people that really do this on a lower level. So just imagine how it is in Hollywood or in business. There's a lot of people that do that. You have to be wary and pay attention to that. People do it all the time. People do it in business. People do it in the middle of the hood, like wherever you live at. It always kind of like been a faulty trait to me. It's kind of weak. It's weak to me. Like I say, it all boils down to fake love, because you have people that'll want to hang with you just so they can end up hanging around other people, and that's just stupid. That's just, man, that shit just, I don't know, but it happens, and I see it happen often. Or people act like they know somebody just because they might be with you or something, then they speaking on this person like they know him or something. But you be thinking like, man, you don't even know such and such, but you speaking on this person like you just really know him, but you know that I know him, or I know that you might know him, but you speaking in third person. Well, not third person, but it's an energy thereof. You might know of someone, but it might be a common link because we may know the person. But yeah, people do that. Like in business too. Some people, I ain't about to drift too far off on this, but it's just some big shit that I don't mind putting out there though, because the whole video was about fake love. So, and I could just imagine how in Hollywood, how it can be just power times 10, because I already be seeing it happen on a lower scale. You might even see it at jobs, all that. Certain people that want to be friends with certain people for certain positions and all that, or they might think like, okay, well, this person not about to be in this position no more, so let me be with this person so I can get this position when they out of this position, and they jump friend to friend, or hangout to hangout, or relationship to relationship. It all boils back down to fake love. That's what it is. So, but y'all go check out this interview though with Brian Hooks, man. It's pretty heavy, and like I said, he coming from a humble place, so you can definitely take his words for it, because he have nothing to lose. When I say he ain't nothing to lose, I ain't saying like he ain't got nothing. But I'm saying he not sought off after in super Hollywood like he was 20 years ago. But it's 2023. And then Eve, that was a nice show too. I liked that show. That show was funny to me. I don't know if y'all remember. He was on. I don't know if y'all remember when he was on Eve, the TV show too. That came on UPN. That shit was funny to me. I used to like that. And I used to tell people this too. I remember when Eve got cancer. I was like, man, damn. But Eve was like Friends too. Like you had those shows. The same way how they say, what was the other show they said stole Friends' idea? A friend stole their idea. Or maybe it was Eve, because I used to always say that's what Eve's show was. It was all them different relationships on the show. It was basically like, I'm trying to remember it kind of vaguely in my mind. But I definitely remember years ago I used to speak on this. I want to say, I'm jumping out on a limb here, but I'm going to say this. I want to say Friends had came after Eve. I want to say this, but I may not be right. But I definitely know Friends went on to be a big super show. Everybody know that. Everybody know Friends was that. But that's basically what the TV show Eve was. It was like a relationship here, 2 relationships. Was it 3 guys, 3 females? I can't remember how the whole show went, but they definitely was parallel. And I definitely remember Eve got canceled. But it is what it is. Y'all go check out the interview that's running on Comedy High with Brian Hook. Shout out to him. Definitely humble, definitely speaking on some things, definitely giving you some insight. And it's something to go check out though. We got a little action, man. I just want to speak on this, man. This is just real shit. It's lessons in all this shit. You have to just study attitude, study character, study people. I mean, and especially once you grow into the person that you are, you're going to be able to decipher just so much. You're going to be able to just decipher so much of what's worth it and what's not. And a guy like this, he can just give up Hollywood. Whether they turned their back on him or he turned this back on them. However way it goes, you still can have your story of the whole development about it and what you took away from it. And that's why he's trying to warn others about it. But I'll get with y'all in a minute though. Rap talk.
Once you blow up, it's going to amplify whoever you are. If you're insecure when you start, you're going to be incredibly insecure once you get to where you're going. If you have a little drug problem, you're going to have a lot of drug problems. If you like to have a drink here and there, you're going to have a drink everywhere. So it doesn't fix or feel anything, but they don't understand that. And then they're at the top wondering why they don't feel good.